we start with the concept of health. In health, there are several concepts which contribute to the health and wellness. The first one we start with biomedical concept, then there is ecological concept, then psychological or psychosocial concept, and holistic concept. Start with biomedical concept. As we all know, health is the absence of disease. That is, if one is free from disease, then he is considered healthy. Based on germ theory of disease, then there are several questions which influences this theory or concept. That is malnutrition, chronic disease, accidents, drug abuse, mental illness, environmental pollution, etc., which leads to ecological concept. In ecological concepts, there are ecologists which define health is a dynamic equilibrium between man and his environment, and disease is maladjustment of human organism to his environment. Also, health implies the relative absence of pain and discomfort and a continuous adaptation and adjustment to the environment to ensure optimal function. So ecological concepts. It raised, it raised two questions, which is imperfect man or imperfect environment. So history shows that improvement in human adaptation to natural environment can lead to longer and better quality of life even with the absence of modern health and delivery services. So, psychosocial concept. In this concept, there is a development in social science. Health is not only a biomedical phenomenon, but it is influenced by social, psychological, cultural, economic, as well as political factors of the people concerned. So, health is a both biological and social phenomenon. Holistic concept. Synthesis of all above concepts. It recognizes the strength of social, economic, political, and environmental influences on the health, and came on many definitions of health. After that, there are some concepts of disease, in which disease process are combined or occur with. So, disease process, there are sickness, illness, and disease, which are attributes to the concepts of the disease. So, first of all, sickness. In this, sickness is a state of social dysfunctioning or likes to remain away from social activities. Or illness. Illness is a subjective state of person who feels aware of not being well with evident signs and symptoms. And last one is disease. Disease is a maladjustment that is physiological, psychological of human being to its environment. So there is epidemiological rate. So in this, there are some cultural figures which shows the concept of fire as well as disease. So the concept of disease is based on the concept of fire. Fire occurs when there is interaction between these above factors. There is interaction between oxygen, ignition and fuel. Then there is occurrence of fire. So similarly in disease process, when there is an interaction between agent, host and environment which causes the disease in state of equilibrium. So classifications of factors of trade of epidemiology. First of all, adjunct factors. In this biological bacteria, viruses, fungi, protozoa. In nutritional factor, there is iodine deficiency, high fluoride content, and cholesterol problem. And in physical, there is heat, frost, humidity, altitude, sound, electricity. In chemical factor, there are two factors, endogenous, exogenous factor. In endogenous factor, lime acid, calcium oxalates, and in exogenous, there are allergens and insecticides. Mechanical factors include friction, accident, trauma. Hereditary factor, polycystic disease, sickle cell, thalassemia. And in social factors, poverty, illiteracy, alcohol, drug abuse. So host factors includes age, sex, race, religion, behavior, beliefs, and practices. In environmental factors, physical, social, climatic, economic, and biology. So natural history of disease. First of all, there is interaction between the agent and host in suitable environment. Then there is occurrence of pre-pathogenesis. Then if sickness is persist there, then there is pathogenesis. Then there is occurrence of signs and symptoms. After that, there is illness there. If illness is diagnosed or treated, then there is recovery. If it is not diagnosed, it converted into chronic stage, which leads to the disability and death. Similarly, if there is occurrence of pathogenesis in strong immunity or in effective dose cannot suit that person or they have strong immunity, then the effect of that pathogen or agent is neutralized or there is a stage of equilibrium. So concept of prevention. Prevention is always better than cure. As per as natural history of disease, epidemiology has four levels of prevention of disease, which are, which are primordial prevention, primary prevention, secondary prevention, and tertiary prevention. In primordial prevention, there is prevent emergence or development of risk factor, and primary health promotion and specific protection is there. And in secondary prevention, there is early diagnosis, then prevent treatment, then prevention of complications. Then in tertiary prevention, there is disability limitations and rehabilitation. For disease prevention, in disease prevention, there is prevention. It is a new concept of emerging out where efforts are made to prevent emergence, development of risk factor through changes of food habits, smoking, exercise, and neuropathy and yoga. So in health promotion, through the health education, nutrition invention, lifestyle, behavior changes, and regular exercise. After that, there is specific protection through immunization, chemoprophylaxis, nutritional supplements, pollution-free environment, carcinogen noise control, standardization of consumer product control accident. In early diagnosis and treatment, regular health checkup of community checkup of children, pregnant mothers, and elder people, health checkup of high-risk groups like smokers, obese, alcoholics, sedentary workers, and factory workers. In disability limitations, through proper exercise, physio and occupational therapy, corrective plastic surgery to improve the mobility. Then rehabilitation, there is mental and physical makeup to become productive, occupational therapy depending on the nature and extent of disability. Then second one is establishing independence and status in the society. So in this preventing medicine strategies are classified into primary, secondary, tertiary, and quaternary prevention levels. In this, there is primary prevention has been described all the measures taken to fetal well-being and prevent risk factors in any long-term disease. So there is a level and their definitions. Primary level for primary prevention. Primary prevention strategies attempt to avoid the development of disease. Most population-based health promotion activities are primary preventive measures. Then in secondary prevention strategies attempt to diagnose and treat the existing disease in its early stage before it results into significant morbidity. In tertiary prevention, these treatments aim to reduce the negative impact of established disease by restoring functions and reducing the disease-related complications. Or last one is partnering prevention. This term describes a set of health activities that mitigate or avoid the consequences of unnecessary or excessive interventions in health system. So Barden's classifications it comes in 1987, and in this there are universal prevention, selective prevention, indicative prevention. So that's all about the concept of